What is going on, guys? I hope you are doing well. Today we are looking at a brand new product that's just come in for me. I plan to start doing a few more reviews of stuff, but this is going to be a first impressions, because the way I believe reviews should work is that we should really know exactly how they're going to hold up long term before we tell you exactly how they're going to hold up. But if you don't know it's going to last, then you're probably not going to want to invest in it. So today, this is a first impressions video, and it's going to be of the brand new Novritsch Ssp18. Obviously, as you know, this gun has been out for a little while now. This is actually the second batch of SSPs. The first batch sold out so quickly that I couldn't get my hands on one, unfortunately, but I've now managed to get my hands on one. This is in the colour grey. Anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to open it up. I'm going to talk through some of the stuff I like, some of the stuff I don't. So let's open the box. One thing that is definitely worth noting is that it's this exact same box that is used for the SSP1 and the SSX23. At least with this one, this is the smallest pistol that Novritsch has done so far. So we open it up, and inside yours, you will have a plastic bag over the gun, and there will also be a bit of sort of oil from, you know, the manufacturing process, assembly process. There will be a little bit of that on the outside. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you get it, take it out, give it a nice wipe down so that you can, you know, clear any crap, basically. Now, right, we're going to quickly go through the rest of the box. So inside the actual case, what you will receive is one of Novritsch's little valve tools. There you go. One of the little valve tools, really useful to have, even if you've got proper tools yourself, worth keeping these about. And the only other thing that you'll get inside the actual box itself is the standard Novritsch guide with the funny little pictures that everyone likes seeing. These have been around for a long time. I'm a little bit disappointed that they didn't actually update these pictures for the SSP18, featuring still the SSP1 on there, but you know, it's not really that big a deal. Although inside they have updated the picture. Just real basic, you know, stuff that tells you, you know, all the stuff that you already know realistically. One thing that's going to be worth noting as well, when you actually buy the gun, you're going to get a choice of green gas or CO2. Now, I'm not going to be doing a chrono in this video, purely because before I do chronos and stuff, I want to try and get the CO2 so I can compare it for you guys. Just a bigger fan of green gas. I find, in my personal experience, I have a lot more issues with CO2. I can't say for sure whether this will be one of those guns that has issues or not, so we'll just take it as is for now. I actually plan to run HPA on this pistol. If you're looking at getting a primary Airsoft M4 adapter, you will not be able to use the Novritsch mags. The Novritsch mags, I'll just show you quickly, are pinned, meaning that if you do want to use the primary M4 adapter, you will have to buy either a TM or WE mag. So we're going to take a quick look at the actual gun itself now. Like I say, this is the grey version. I must admit, when they first announced it, I was going to go black, and then I changed my mind, went grey, put the order in for grey, and then I'll be honest, I had doubts. You know, I saw a few of Joseph's videos, and he was talking about how the grey wasn't as nice as he wanted. He ended up going for a OD green, and I do think the OD green looks really cool. Personally, I like the look of this. It's very sort of counter-terrorism styled colourings, and I quite like that. I think that's quite cool. Straight away, it is a lot lighter than the SSP1. One thing that some people are going to like and some people aren't is high cappers are a lot more angled, Glocks are very square. Now, something else that a lot of people were talking about in the various groups, they talk about this plastic being very cheap. Now, I've used cheap pistols, and this doesn't feel like one of them. Even, you know, yeah, the lower is polymer. There is, you know, real Glocks, lower is polymer. Overall, at least the one I've got feels really good. There's no flex anywhere. You know, you can't bend it. Even the mag well, I can't even squeeze. It is solid. So getting on to the other things you're going to notice straight away. At the front, you have this nice big green fiber sight, and at the back, you actually have nothing. You just have like a black U. Now, if I line it up right, you can see how clearly the green sticks out on that. Now, I must admit, it was one of those things that when I saw it being talked about, I thought, you know, dots on the back would be quite cool. I've got a red fibre in my SSP1. When you look down the sight, it's really hard to line up on camera. If I do that, you can kind of make it out. The thing your eye does notice is that your eye is distracted from that front dot. Now, basically, where your front dot is where you're going to be shooting. So, to have a nice big green fibre up front and then nice black at the back, I must admit, I had my doubts until I actually had a little play around with it. And I actually now think it's a really good idea, and I like having black at the back. Might not be to everyone's personal taste, but you know, worst case, you could probably swap this this rear sight out. It does look like it's detachable. The front sight doesn't look like it's detachable, but I haven't done a full teardown of this gun yet. But it is worth noting that the slide is aluminium and it is pre-cut out. My worry with this is it feels a bit similar to the SSP1, which was a bit prone to scratching. I'd like to think that they've actually used a harder anodized process this time around, but we'll see. You're also going to notice the standard stuff that I'm sure you've probably seen about if you've been watching Ssp18 videos. Things like the undercut on the trigger guard here. Personally, fits my hand really nicely. Obviously, you're going to have the laser engraved Ssp18 and the custom serial number for whatever your weapon is. My hand is deemed like large in glove sizes, and I must admit this is like the perfect size for me. Other things we're going to jump onto really quickly. You get this thread protector as standard. This is purely to protect the 14mm counterclockwise thread. I don't know if I'll be able to get close enough and still be able to zoom in. That's quite nicely done. One of the common things that a lot of people have been complaining about on the forums is it not being very nicely machined and stuff. At least on this one, it's really nicely done, and it will accept tracers, things like that. It's worth noting though that it is a longer thread, so if you do have a small thread adapter on whatever you're using, just bear in mind you will have a couple threads showing, but that's not really a big deal. As you guys saw, that went on really really nicely. And one thing that's beautiful about the Ssp18 is it's got a fixed outer barrel. So when you cock it back, usually on a gun, the outer barrel usually drop a bit, but as you can see from this, there's absolutely no drop, and that's because it is fixed inside. This is great because it means you can run suppressors, you can run large tracer units. It's up to you what you want to use, but this gun will be able to hold it. But one thing that is worth noting is that certain guns, the tolerances are proving to be a little bit tighter than you'd potentially want, which isn't a bad thing. And what you might find is when you cock it like that, so if I racked it, you might find that it doesn't go all the way back at the front and just at the back. A quick nudge from that pushes it forwards, and over time that will wear in. That is purely because at the minute all the tolerances are brand new. Some are going to be quite tight. You'd rather it be snug and wear into its size than for it to be loose straight from the factory. Obviously you have stippling. Well, I guess it's stippling. I don't really know exactly what you would call this. On the handguard, you also have a point for your trigger. You have the spiraled outer barrel, which has become a Novritsch signature piece on his guns. I personally really like it. Not everyone does, but you know, we flip over to the other side. You've got your mag release button on the side there. Nice big button, easy to press. You have your fire selector, so nicknamed the fun switch. Up for single shot, down for fully auto. So we come onto the trigger. Obviously it's got the built-in safety. Once it's cocked back, you have a bit of a dead zone, which is good, and then a really strong brake. Very distinctive. Obviously when the gun cycles, it resets and it's ready to go. Obviously with gas in, does it automatically for you. The Ssp18 also features a standard NATO Picatinny rail. Perfect for mounting things like flashlights, you know, maybe weapon mounted cameras if that's what you fancy. Fits really well, no wobble whatsoever. It's hard to sort of criticise it, to be honest. It's really well done. One thing that I did find when I bought this is one thing you should always do with any Novritsch product is give the barrel a clean. It's worth double checking before you do. Make sure your hop is turned all the way off. Just stick a cleaning rod with a bit of cloth down there, get any residual oil, just to make sure it's going to shoot perfectly for you. So one thing I am finding a bit of an issue straight away is being able to disassemble. I'm putting it down to, it's a really strong spring to hold the slide on, at the minute at least, and basically you have this little toggle thing here. You've got to pull it down on both sides, so it's all the way down, pull the slide back, comes off. Annoyingly, that made it look surprisingly easy, but sometimes it can be a bit of an issue. You have the hop adjustment wheel in there. To add hop, you rotate towards the back of the slide. So to remove hop, you go to the front. It's worth noting the inside, it will be pre-oiled, but it's probably worth adding your own, just a little bit of extra, especially on like the metal surfaces where you know, metal on metal is going to take place. It doesn't hurt to add a bit of oil. Just don't cake in it because it will throw it absolutely everywhere. There is currently a few issues with a few guns failing on the hammer. Now, the Novritsch team are aware of this. They are replacing bits free of charge, and they're also doing a descriptive video on how to swap it out so that you can do it without having to send it back. Obviously, not ideal, but at least they're actually going about making it right, which I personally credit them for, because they could turn around and, you know, ignore us and all that. One thing that I will strongly say about the Ssp18 is you're going to want more than the one mag that came with it. As far as I'm aware, a lot of mags work with these. Certain people have found that TM work. Certain guns don't like TM. So this has been the Novritsch Ssp18. First impressions, you know, it's not a review by no means. I want to put a few months of like torture testing on this before I actually could turn around and say, is it a good gun, is it not? At least from the plinking that I've done, it's proving to be pretty damn good. You're getting a upgraded pistol with upgrades that would cost you quite a bit. Yes, you could probably build this pistol for cheaper, but you're getting it as a pre-built package. Now this I personally like, because it saves me having to find things that work, buying things that don't work, and, you know, putting all those man hours when they've done it for you already. Worth noting, this does ship from Austria, at least taking at my point of delivery post-Brexit. In the UK, I didn't have to pay any import fees on this. So guys, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that sub button. I'm going to be trying to produce videos a lot more often for you. A lot of you will know me as Major Woods. The others will know me as Ollie. That's my name. I'll see you guys here again soon.